Okay, so we have question 1 right here, converting Celsius into Fahrenheit using the provided calculation, and it wants us to use 43.5, and then we get 110.3 there. In question 3 we have entering the preferred amount of feet and then transferring it over to meters. Again, numbers provided from the book right here. Now the book wants us to use, book wants us to use 16.5. 16.5 converts over to 5.0325, as we see right there. And then we have the gratuity rate problem with the subtotals, and so we have 10 as the subtotal, 15% as the gratuity rate. And then we get $1.5 as the gratuity rate, and the total is 11.5. As we see from here, just simply adding on the total times the percentile of it right there. Then we have question 7, which is converting minutes to years and days. What we're doing here is we're just dividing it by the amount of minutes in a year and then dividing it by 365, so 1 billion, there we go, and we have 1902 years and 214 days as we get from the book. And then we have question 9, where are you? 9, right here. So what we're doing is we're grabbing the y minus the x divided by the z as provided also in the book, and the answers that we get from the book, well, numbers we get from the book are 5.5, 50.9 and 4.5. Enter. Voila, 10.08 recurring as we get in the book. Then question 11, we're simply doing the same problem as last week's, except this time we get to input in our own years in the console. So if we go over to that, say I want to do 10 years, we get that. Then we have to grab 3 sets of point coordinates to calculate for the triangle, and there we get, what is this, question 19, there we get the numbers 1.5, negative 3.4, 4.6, 5, and 9.5 and negative 3.4, and that brings us out to an area of the triangle being 33.60016 at the end, but rounded off, as in the book it just goes to 33.6. The investment amount and annual interest rate of years, that is question 21 right here, and we have x, y, next double, blah blah blah. What we're doing here is we are dividing it by 12 and, well, 100 at the same time, really, just so that it goes to being the monthly interest rate here as it says in the book. And so if we put in what it wants, we get, just put that in, 1000.56, 4.25, and 1 year. Voila, 1043.92 if we round off everything else. And then we have miles of travel, miles per gallon, and the cost per gallon, just the cost of traveling problem, question 23. Our final problem, we have 900.5 as our given answer. We have 25 3.5, we have 3.55, and there we go, we have the same answer right there, and that is the end of my script. Now, if we just want to do a small walkthrough of it, we have the import up here, we have the scanner being defined locally to the main method. Then we're going through here, we set up our x variable, our x double, which is used quite a lot throughout here, reassigning rather than just creating new variables in every single problem. Then we have pretty much the same, just using the formulas from the book right around here, and then over here we're using the remainder operator so that we can get the remainder of the minutes and then divide it by the minutes of the year, and then minutes of the day, sorry. And we go down, we get to this part again, formulas provided from the book. This time we're introducing Z, we introduced Y up here as well. And then here we're using a for loop, which is pretty much the same thing I was doing last assignment, except this time round I'm using the scanner to put in the years and putting the years as the cap. That's it, really. Then for here we're using a distance calculating formula, which is just getting the square root of these right here, and then, well, getting the square root of x minus, well, x1 right here minus x2 squared, and then y1 minus y2 squared, and so on and so forth, just to get the distance between the 2 points on all three right here. And then we're using the same formula from the book right here and here to get the area of the triangle. In problem 21, we are entering in the investment amount, annual interest rate, and number of years right here. Now, as it's an annual interest rate and in the book it says to use monthly interest rate, I had to do this here where I divide it by 12 and then also 100, so that it can get down to being fairly somewhat percentile and more accurate using the formula. And then we have x times math to the power of that, and we put it to the power of the amount of years times 12, so we can get that. And then we have this one, which is much simpler than this thing. We just have x divided by y and then times by z, which is the miles of travel being x, the miles per gallon being y, and the cost being z, so that as the amount of miles we travel, well, gallons we use up traveling, multiplied by the cost to get the cost of travel. Thank you.